Okay, so the Eagles just got some bad news ahead of their matchup with the Falcons, as star wide receiver A.J. Brown is now dealing with a hamstring injury that could possibly keep him out of Monday night's game. So with that in mind, it seems like the newest wide receiver Jahan Dotson could be in line for a much bigger role against the Falcons, and Nick Sirianni recently talked about that, and he expressed confidence in him. So just how good will Jahan Dotson be in this game? Also, Saquon Barkley said he's super excited for his first home opener as an Eagle, while Jordan Mailata revealed that the Eagles placed a huge emphasis on eliminating the turnovers in this game, and that's just one of the many keys to the Birds beating the Falcons. So we're going to dive into that and everything else ahead of the Eagles game against Atlanta starting right now. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Philly Fan 21 channel. If you're new, I'm Evan and I cover all things Philadelphia Eagles. And let's start off with Saquon Barkley, who won a very interesting award this past week, as in addition to being named NFC Offensive Player of the Week, he also won Nickelodeon's MVP award, as he was voted the NFL's best player in Week 1. And in addition to getting the trophy, Barkley was also slimed in true Nickelodeon fashion, and his daughter was actually the one who did it, and it was pretty wholesome.
I want to give a huge shout out to Nickelodeon and everybody who voted me MVP and got me this amazing trophy. Thank you guys so much. Much love.
Go Eagles! So how did you feel getting slimed by me?
It was great. This actually doesn't feel that bad, and it made me happier. You got to do it for me.
Okay. Yay!
She's
I'm
tight.
fine.
Now, Barkley is going to look to continue his award-worthy play in Week 2 in the home opener against the Falcons, and just like in Week 1, he seems to be a little extra excited and motivated to come out and play well, as he recently said that he is super excited to play in front of the Philly crowd as an Eagle for the first time.
I'm super excited. Super excited. I know how passionate this fan base is, and they showed nothing but love since the day I got here, so I'm excited to go out there, and the mindset is still the same every week. Go 1-0 and try to get a win from the fans.
Safe to say, the crowd is going to go crazy when Saquon gets in the end zone for the first time, and I'm thinking it definitely happens at least once in this game, although I wouldn't be surprised if it's more after the performance that he just had last week. But regardless of whether he even scores or not, Saquon is surely going to feel the love from the Philly fans early and often, and it's just going to be so exciting for him to make his Eagles home debut. And same goes for the right guard Mekhi Becton, who also seems very excited about Saquon, as he had this to say about what it was like getting to block for him in Week 1 in a recent press conference.
What was it like blocking for Saquon for the first time?
That was dope, man. It was dope seeing 26 run past me every time. Like, it was a fun feeling for sure.
I'm sure all the offensive linemen just love blocking for Saquon, because there's a good chance that their hard work pays off with him carrying the ball and running off their blocks. And for Becton specifically, the statement hard work pays off especially applies to him, as after getting here in the offseason, he obviously had a ton of work to do and a huge adjustment to make, as he went from a career NFL tackle to this team's starting right guard, a position he has never played before, all in a matter of months. And in the Eagles opener against the Packers, he was pretty great, and the star left tackle Jordan Mailata seems to agree with that, as he seemed very impressed with Becton's debut.
I think Mekhi did great. He did a great job. I mean, phenomenal for first game at right guard. What a debut. There's a lot to clean up, but not even just from him, but from all of us as an offensive line. We like to see we're a 5-wheel drive, but definitely a great start for Mekhi. Definitely a huge confidence boost heading into this week too.
I definitely love hearing that from Mailata, and hopefully he's right in saying that Becton's awesome debut gives him a confidence boost and helps him to be even better moving forward. And something else that could help Becton moving forward is adopting the mentality and mindset of quarterback Jalen Hurts, and it seems like he's doing that, as the cameras and mics caught this interaction between the two in their Week 1 game.
We'll keep building every week. You starting to rub off on me too. You starting to talk real talented.
I love this for so many reasons. One being that it just shows that Jalen has a positive effect in the locker room and is able to lead in multiple ways, including leading by example, but also because when Mekhi said this, even though he could have been referring to anything, Jalen just immediately assumed that he was talking about his work ethic, his focus, and his mindset. And I mean, that's just awesome. And also on a side note, it's also awesome that QB1 apparently recently got engaged to his longtime girlfriend Bree Burrows. So congrats to the happy couple, and drop a like down below for that. But now getting over to what Jalen is going to have to do in this game against the Falcons, I honestly think the main thing is just to continue to do the good things that he did in week 1 while also eliminating the mistakes, specifically the turnovers and interceptions. I mean, that's really been the big topic that everyone has been talking about this week regarding Hurts, is his issues he had with turning the ball over. And while I do think the concerns have honestly been a little bit overblown, I also think that it is fair to criticize the turnovers he had and to also just want to see better from him this week and moving forward, because for the Eagles to get where they want to go, they just can't turn the ball over like that, plain and simple. And Jalen and the Birds know that, and they've no doubt placed a huge emphasis on protecting the football ahead of their week 2 game. And Jordan Mailata actually confirmed that this week.
The messaging from the turnovers is that we showed the stat line of people who won and lost the turnover differential, and out of the 12 teams that are at the bottom, we were the only team to win, and that's an anomaly. We shouldn't have, and the big emphasis this week is ball security, is making sure that we're not turning the ball over and putting our defense in situations. So that was the message this week. Just we got lucky. I want to say we got lucky, but when I watch the tape, we showed up for each other last week, and this week, we're going to protect the ball. So we're not that anomaly again.
It's certainly good to hear that the Eagles are just really focusing on cleaning up the turnovers this week. And if they're able to move the ball and put up points like they did last week while also not giving the football away, that's certainly a great sign for their offense moving forward in the season. But I guess we'll see if they actually are able to take better care of the football in this game. And again, hopefully they do, because that's going to be key for them. And one of the other keys for them to come away with this win is going to be stopping Falcons running back Bijan Robinson. But that certainly won't be easy, as Robinson is one of the bright young stars in this league and an elite talent at the running back position, and he's also caught the attention of Saquon Barkley, as the Eagles' star running back had some high praise for his Falcons counterpart.
I love Bijan. I get Bijan, one of my favorite backs to watch. I remember I was watching his highlight tape on YouTube this offseason. I texted him. I was like, man, you're special. And he's going to be even more special. Hopefully he's not special on Monday. Not even close to that, but big fan of his game since college, and the future's bright for him. So looking forward to what he's able to do the rest of the time.
Nick Sirianni did say earlier in the week that watching Bijan's tape reminded him of watching Saquon's tape while he was with the Giants, so it really should be no surprise that Barkley enjoys watching Bijan. And it's also no secret that the Eagles defense has their work cut out for them in trying to stop him, especially since the run defense was not too good last week, as they gave up nearly 8 yards per carry to the Packers offense and over 160 yards on the ground. So they're definitely going to have to be a lot better in that area than they were in week 1. And veteran defensive end Brandon Graham knows that it's going to be really important to limit Bijan, as he had this to say about him in a recent press conference.
Everything revolves around him. If we get him started, it's going to be a long day. If we don't, we allow Kirk Cousins to beat us. And, we just don't want. No team want to get ran on anyway. But when you got a premier back like that, you got to make sure we play Team D.
Hopefully the Eagles are able to defend the run much better this week and not only quiet some of the concerns surrounding that, but also just help their chances to win this game. But now, real quick, before we get into all the other Eagles news that just recently happened, I do want to say, if you are enjoying this video and don't want to miss any other Eagles coverage or content just like this coming throughout this entire season, then make sure you subscribe, and also really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. I think that's a win-win for the both of us, because not only do I get more people consistently watching these videos, but you don't miss any other Eagles coverage or content just like this. So again, subscribe, turn on notifications, and also drop a like. Let's see if we can hit 800 likes on this video. And now, with all that being said, let's get back into the video. But now, moving on to something else that'll help their chances of winning this game is getting a better effort from the pass rush. As last week, the Birds defensive line disappointed in that area, as despite generating a little bit of pressure on Jordan Love, they never got home, and the only one who did was the linebacker Zach Bond, who got home twice, but that's not going to cut it over the course of the year. I mean, the Eagles defense has consistently been built around the defensive line, and they're relying very heavily on those guys to produce and get sacks, and in this game, that's going to be key for a couple of reasons. One, just to get on track and to set the tone for the rest of the year, but two, to also take advantage of the fact that Kirk Cousins might not be 100% healthy, and even if he is, the numbers from week 1 show that he's not doing a whole lot of moving in the pocket. So again, the Eagles defense and pass rush definitely has to take advantage of that, and Brandon Graham knows that they're going to have a better pass rushing and just overall defensive effort against Kirk Cousins on Monday, as he said this in a recent press conference.
That's the thing, you got to get him off his rhythm. You got to make sure you're taking away the first read, because it's all timing with him. I mean, he's one of those guys that's you got to be there, because he's throwing it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it go. I mean, as a quarterback, you just want to get your rhythm, and if we can keep him off track a little bit, we'll put ourselves in a good position.
What makes him so tough to sack?
just he gets the ball out. I mean, if you're going to be there or not, he's throwing that ball. And he ain't trying to take no hits. And I know for us, we only got two, maybe 2.5 seconds to get there. And we got to make sure we affect him. But, I mean, no quarterback going to the game wanting to get hit. And they try to get the ball out fast, but sometimes it just don't happen like that. So we got to make sure we there when it don't happen like that to make sure he feeling it. Because, I mean, you want to affect the quarterback in so many ways, and hitting them is just as effective as, you know, getting the sack or not. But I know for sure it's just making sure we taking him off his timing throws, ones that he want to get to, just so that he won't, you know, just feel that rhythm. Getting that rhythm.
It's no secret that Kirk likes to get the ball out really fast, so it is going to be a little tough for the Eagles to just pile up the sacks in this game. But like BG said, they still got to find ways to affect him. They got to pressure him, they got to hit him, and they got to disrupt his rhythm. So if they can get him off his first read and consistently be around him all night, then I would feel pretty good about that, and I would like their chances. And something else that'll also be very important is to slow down the young but talented receiving core the Falcons have. And Darius Slay actually spoke about the headliner of the group, Drake London, earlier this week.
The size, the 50-50 balls. He got great skills at attacking the ball at a high level. He got a bright future, man. And I've been watching, you know, because definitely I'm from Georgia. Grew up as not gonna say crazy Falcon fan, but just always like, you know, wanting to play good because like I'm from that state. But they got a nice kid over there, man. Definitely super nice.
It's no secret that London versus Slay will be a matchup to watch in this game, but I definitely think that Slay has the edge, and overall, I'd say the Eagles' corners do have the edge versus this Falcons receiving core, and the rookie Quinyon Mitchell is a big part of that, as, again, I just loved what I saw from him in his debut, and I thought he played great, and it gives me confidence that he's going to be able to stick whoever he's matched up against this week very effectively, and fellow cornerback Isaiah Rodgers seems pretty confident in him too, as in his recent press conference, he seemed really impressed and excited about Mitchell and how he played in his debut.
How do you think he played?
Hell yeah, he played pretty good. He knows he belongs here, and, you know, we happy to have him.
So that's definitely awesome to see, and it only makes me feel better about Quinyon moving forward. But Rodgers is also going to be another guy to watch this week as well, because I honestly don't quite know what role he's going to have. I mean, on one hand, he very well could be the starting outside cornerback while Quinyon Mitchell's in the slot, or on the other hand, he may not have much of a role at all in the defense, so I guess we'll see what happens. And getting to something else that was also a little up in the air heading into today, we look at AJ Brown and his status for Monday night's game, as the star wide receiver surprisingly showed up on the injury report on Friday as he was limited with a hamstring injury. So on Saturday morning, Nick Sirianni was of course asked about what happened, and this is what he said.
What happened with AJ? Oh, he just got a little tight in practice yesterday. We'll see how that goes.
Kind of precautionary, I guess, to back him off a little bit.
Yeah, again, tight in practice, you know, and then, you know, we took a little bit cautionary yesterday. We'd probably be the same thing today. Bob will get you the injury report.
So the good news is that regardless of AJ's status for this game, he made it seem like the injury isn't too serious in its nature, as he said that they limited him for precautionary reasons on Friday, and they would do a similar thing today at practice. However, it certainly is not a good thing that AJ's dealing with a hamstring injury, as hamstrings can be really annoying to deal with, and it's one of those injuries that if not handled properly, it can linger on throughout a season. And obviously with this injury, AJ's status for this game was also put in question, as leading into Saturday's practice, everyone wanted to know whether AJ would play or not, and if he did play, if he would be limited or not. So naturally, ahead of practice, Nick Sirianni was asked about the new wide receiver Jahan Dotson and the other receivers and his confidence level in their ability to step up if they have to, and this is what he said.
Is he ready for, you know, more of a role? Should it?
Yeah, he's worked his butt off. He's obviously a very, very talented player, you know, and we'll see. Again, we'll see how that goes. But I know that the guys are ready when called upon, when they need to be, when they're called upon. I feel really good about Jahan. I mean, first round pick. Obviously, we traded for him and feel really good about him. He's a smooth route runner, everything like that. I just think sometimes that position is unfairly judged at times just because they don't get the opportunities that these other guys are going to get because of the, you know, when you have players like AJ, Devontae, and Dallas on your team, like that's just the way it goes sometimes. But in a case if he has to step up and play a more meaningful snaps, I got a lot of confidence in him. And because he's done a nice job, you know, and and we can only judge him on the things that he's done since he's been here. He's done a really good job since he's been here, has some really good practices. So excited for his opportunity as the third receiver, as a second receiver, whatever it may be for each week. I'm excited for him when he's going to get his opportunity because he's going to make some big plays that's going to help us win some games.
I just love the confidence Sirianni expressed in Dotson there, and it makes me feel a whole lot better should he have to play a bigger role in this game with this injury to AJ, and it does also get me excited to see what Dotson is able to do when he does get chances, as last week he didn't really get any opportunities, so it'll definitely be interesting to watch what kind of role he has on Monday night, and also what he's able to do with the chances that he does get. That being said though, that doesn't exactly mean that I want AJ to miss this game or be limited in any way either, and the bad news that we actually got later in the day today is that AJ not only was not seen at practice, but he was officially listed as questionable on the injury report today, so we don't quite know if he's going to play or not, and if he does, you'd have to imagine that he could be limited a little bit. Aside from all that though, I still think the keys to the Eagles winning this game are going to be the three main things that I brought up in this video, being the Eagles' run defense against Bijan Robinson, their pass rush turning it up a little bit and getting Kirk Cousins out of rhythm, and also not turning the ball over like they did last week. And if they can do all that, then I love their chances in this game. And my official prediction is going to be that the Eagles get a little bit more of a convincing victory than they did last week by a score of 35-21, and they're going to move to 2-0. But you guys can give me all your score predictions down in the comments below. And also, while you're at it, make sure you guys again subscribe and turn on notifications if you don't want to miss any more Eagles coverage or content coming throughout this entire season. And also, again, while you're at that, make sure you drop a like as well, because that really does help me out a ton. Again, let's see if we can hit 800 likes today. And if you want to watch another Eagles video going over from a bunch more news earlier in the week, then you can check this out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.